everybody, thank you so much for joining for Office Hours. This is your chance to ask me questions about whatever, and I will do my best to answer, and if I don't have a good answer, then I'll tell you. So feel free to jump in. There's a link in the description that'll take you to explain what you need to do to join. I answer questions in Zoom first, and then I go to Discord, and then I will take a look at live chat too. And we just go for about an hour or when the questions run out. Excitingly, today we've got actually somebody in the Zoom call. That does not always happen. So let me share screen here. Brandon, can I hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything from you, and I'm not seeing an indication that Zoom is hearing anything from you either, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Okay, well, just holler once you get that worked out, and then I will grab you. Until then, let me go here to Discord. I had somebody who asked a question a while ago, and I guess I just missed it, or I lost it, or something. But yeah, the question was on the React Hooks workshop. So if we go to React Hooks, and we're looking at, it looks like exercise 2. And if we go to exercise 2, this is the side effects. Pop this open. Exercise 2, side effects, and this was the use effect. I think it's the, part 1, or step 1. So, lifting stood up, we're using a form action prop to update the URL. Query params with the query, current query state. When you use the action, by default, React resets the form field values. This is correct, which makes the checkbox unchecked. There's no question here, just this is a statement. I'm not sure what, yeah, so here, let's just reproduce the issue. So pop this solution open, same thing that they had. So let's see. Okay, so I think they are checking the checkboxes. Here we go. Yep, check, and then submit, and those get unchecked. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is the way that we're going to see it also. Yeah, this is how it works. This is a statement of fact. If we take a look at, let's see, no, we're looking at the very last step here. Yeah, we still have this problem here. We work on this further in a later exercise in the advanced, or what is it? APIs.epicreact.dev. Huh, that didn't auto-complete my URL. That's interesting. Let me see if I can find it. So we've got it in here, I think. Oh, yeah, this is kind of annoying. No, that's tic-tac-toe. I cannot remember. Oh, do we do this in focus management? I think that might actually be. Oh goodness, why is this so slow? Here, let's just do APIs. We'll do it locally, and we'll find it really quick. Yeah, joy of owning a dog. Joy of owning a dog. So blog posts. So the very last version of all this is in exercise 6. Let's open this one and go to exercise 6. And let's go to the solution. So once it's all done, do we still have the problem? That's my question. No, we don't. And so it's hard for me to answer your question because you didn't actually ask it as a question, presented it as a problem. We do eventually fix the problem, as you can see in the advanced APIs. I'm not exactly sure when we fix it. Let me see if I can figure that out. So we reference it in the state optimization. That might be where we fix it. Hold on a second. Where's my... Be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, so my son comes to my door and he's holding an old phone that I've got that I let them listen to podcasts and stuff on. And he whispers, "I accidentally made an emergency call." I didn't know that pressing the power button over and over again would make an emergency call. And I said, "Did you hang up?" And he said, "Yeah, I hung up right away." I was like, "Okay, well, I guess maybe we'll have police come up to our front door here in a little bit. That would be embarrassing." Okay, anyway, here in exercise 2, step 1, we work on that. Let's see if we go. Yeah, okay, so we do. I'm just trying to figure out at what point do we switch from this example. Hold on a second. Oh, I'm looking at exercise 1. Here we go. Okay, so in here, let's see if we have the same problem. So click, and submit. Okay, so this goes away as soon as we optimize the state updates. That makes sense to me. Here, let's go right here. Actually, here, this is a fun idea. Let's do this. We go to our MCP settings. We've got Epic Shop installed on here. I'm going to come over to this and copy this. This issue is resolved in exercise 2, step 1. Can you explain how that exercise step resolves the issue? And let's see if it can figure that out. It's not even going to ask. It probably can figure it out too. Well, it has some context from these instructions, but because we're not actually undoing the reset, which is interesting. So I haven't even thought too deeply about why this problem exists and how to fix it. I'm just kind of curious what the AI is going to say. Optimizing how state updates are handled. State is managed for the entire, not just single query param. Page does not re-render. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the reason. Okay. Let's actually look at why this is happening, and I'll try and explain it. That didn't explain it the way that I... Oh, here we go. Oh, the problem doesn't exist here because we're not using an action. We're using onSubmit. Okay, back it up. My apologies as we figure out what's going on here. So we are experiencing this on 2.1 solution effects. We go to index. Checked is, if the dog is checked, words comes from the query, which is in query param. Here's our action. The action resets the form, but the checked value is controlled. So I would actually not expect this to reset the form if it's control. Well, it's going to reset the form, but I wouldn't expect the form reset to actually change the these input values. So that is a surprise to me. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing. So it's 0201, 0201. Let's get rid of that. We're gonna check, submit, and those get unchecked. So here's what we're going to do to figure out I think, honestly, this actually sounds like a bug in React, which you don't find those very often. So here we're going to add a breakpoint to this DOM breakpoint. Yeah, let's do break on attribute modifications, maybe. I want property modifications. Yeah, because we're not getting attribute modifications for that reset. Okay, fine. So not that. Remove breakpoints. We're going to go to our console instead. Yep, there's new stuff all the time. It's very exciting. I'm going to pop this over here as well. And we're going to take that input. Isn't there a break on? Yeah, there's a way to do this. In the Chrome Developer Tools, how do you add a breakpoint on a property change? Like I have a DOM node and I want to have a JavaScript breakpoint when that checkbox is unchecked or checked via JavaScript. I know that there's a way to do this. There used to be a hack to do this, but now there's like it's built in. What? It does. I thought it did. All right, fine. We'll do the old hack. It was the define property hack. All right, let's see what happens if we try that. And now I hit submit. Nothing. Boo. All right. Checked. Equals true. See, then we get the breakpoint. That's what I was expecting to happen. All right, refresh the page. Clear out this. Let's try this once more. First of all, let's just make sure that this is what I think it is. So we go to our input, say $0 checked false. Then I type dog because it's controlled. Now it's checked true. I get rid of that. Yeah, same if I type it as well, which is unsurprising. Okay, false. Check that. Hit submit, and it's unchecked. How is that happening? Okay, so instead, let's go to debugger. And let's start it over, type dog, hit submit. We're going to set the global search params, and now we're in React code. And here we're going to be able to find where the form oh, you know what? I should just try form reset myself. Just call form reset, see what happens. But anyway, we're going to come back up. Now, man, stepping in React code is like the worst. So we've got a return value now. Our action didn't return anything. I didn't realize that it could return something. Oh, it could return a promise. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Yep. Oh, yeah, of course an action can return something. That's what use action state is for. Dispatch state set state internal. Huh. I was expecting the form reset to show up around here. You know what? I think that's interesting. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hijack the reset function. First, I'm going to check this and check that, and then I'm going to say reset. Okay, so that does work. Huh. Well, let's look at the React docs about form reset. It honestly seems wrong that resetting the form would override controlled state. That's the only time they reference it at all. Huh, reset form. Here we go. Reset. Where was the... there was a search term. Form, reset form. All uncontrolled field succeeds. All uncontrolled field elements. Uncontrolled. Oh, there we go. In the form of reset. Yep. Yeah, and it doesn't explain anything about that. Oh, here it is. All uncontrolled field elements in the form of reset. That's not what we're seeing. We are seeing these controlled things be reset as well, which makes me think that this is a bug. Huh. Well, what do we do about bugs in React? I'll tell you what we do. We report them to React. So I don't have the bandwidth to create an example of this and submit it to React and carry that through. But this seems like a bug. So here's what we're going to say. I answered this on my Office Hours live stream today. Let me grab a link to that. Where's my... oh, by the way, my volume is really low. One second. Sometimes my volume gets adjusted automatically, and it bothers me a ton, and I do not know why that happens. Okay, I was looking for my Office Hours stream, which is right here. My volume is really low. One second. Hold on a second. Sometimes my volume gets adjusted automatically, Brandon, and I think it bothers me a ton. That I wasn't hearing you. I think it was my problem.
Can you hear me now?
Because I couldn't hear what I was just watching just then.
Can you hear me now?
Huh. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, well, here in just a second, Brandon, I'll have we'll play around with it and see if it's my problem. But yeah, let me grab that. Actually, Office Hours live stream. Ultimately, I believe that this is a bug because this line in the docs. The docs being these docs, and the line being this line. These checkboxes are controlled and should therefore not be reset. If you would like to create a minimal reproduction and open an issue on the React repo, I'm sure they would appreciate that. Ultimately, we avoid this problem when we make the... No, actually, yeah, I'm not going to even bother with that. Okay. Thanks. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you. Okay. And that is that. All right, Brandon, sorry to make you wait. And it ended up probably being my own fault anyway. Can you talk really quick?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm not hearing you. And my desktop audio is not either. I think I might know what the problem is, though. 1 second. Okay, could you try talking again?
Testing, testing.
I hear you perfectly. All right. Sorry
Awesome.
about that.
No worries. Cool. So in a past job, we had multiple projects going on, and we had a centralized library of React components. And well, what's unique about this is that they had state management built into it, and so all these similar apps that did similar things This is actually at PayPal. Our time there overlapped. We
Huh.
met once. But we had the centralized library with React components with Redux hooked up to it, and we'd require it into each project. And that way we were able to reuse components and reuse in the it hooked into the state management. We had Redux both in the library and on the individual apps. And anyway,
Hmm.
so I've got a couple of different ideas, and I've just been thinking about like the architecture. Obviously, this is way premature, and you want to solve this problem after you've got one or more projects. But I've just kind of been thinking about this technical problem with some of the more modern tools that are out recently. I was curious how you would do it. There's TanStack query, there's Redux Toolkit query, for managing API data. For managing just client-side data, you've got Zustand, you've got Redux. And so if you were to do a similar architecture today, say you had multiple ideas you wanted to work on, wanted to keep the styling consistent, and you just wanted to have kind of a similar library that would service multiple apps, how would you do this? Would you have, you know, yeah, what tools would you use and how would you kind of architect this? I'm
Uh,
curious.
yeah, so specifically for a component library, I think I would try to avoid having the component library care much about the state of the app, and instead have those things be passed in as props. It just seems like a really hairy problem if you make your component library depend on the state of the app, and then one app needs things different, and so now you
Right.
have a lot of logic going back and forth. And so if it's not application state that your component library is concerned with, then I don't know that I would use a state management solution. I would probably just be happy with what React comes with out of the box. Um, I shouldn't say it probably. That's what I did when I was at PayPal with the PP React. Was everything just had its own state management with React. And then for some components, they're a collection of components together, so compound components. And that for that, you use a context provider. And I talked about that in the advanced patterns workshop in compound components. So if you want to dive into that at some point to see how that all works, if you might already be aware of how all that works, but
No, I'll have to look into it.
yeah. So compound components honestly are probably the most common pattern in component libraries for React components now. You'll be very familiar with it, I'm sure, with other libraries that you've seen. Radix uses it heavily as a pattern now. Um, so yeah, I don't think that there's really in my mind, there's not really a strong case for a big, heavy state management library solution for a collection of components. I think that just adds more complexity than is necessary. So that's how I would do it.
Okay. So you would know state management within the library, for instance. Obviously, a case by case basis for the individual apps if the need arises. Is that
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, each app is going to be unique in how they do it. For the apps themselves, I would use React Router, and then if there was a need for client-side caching, then I'd probably use TanStack Query for that. Um, and occasionally you will have some global state needs that like context just doesn't feel right for.
Yeah.
First, before jumping straight to context, then composition would be a really good thing to look into. Like, how are you putting your views together? And you can sometimes put them together in such a way that getting state to where it needs to be is not so much of a challenge. But occasionally it can be, or I should say often, it can be a challenge. Context is normally enough, especially when you're using React Router for managing data requests and stuff. And then if you bring in React Query, then that can help manage lots of the backend data. So it comes down to all the ephemeral client-side data, and if you have a lot of that needs to be shared all over the application, that's when performance can start to be an issue, and having a library to help with that can help. But there's like a certain breed of app that needs that sort of thing, like highly interactive, not mostly the CRUD related stuff that lots of us are working on day to day.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Are you, you're not still at PayPal, are you?
No, I actually kind of followed you, man. I live here in Utah now too.
Oh, no way. What part of Utah?
I live in Murray.
Oh, sweet. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
We should like see each other at a meetup sometime or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
cool. Well,
I'll
thanks for
reach
coming. I
out.
hope this is helpful.
Yeah, it was. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Did you have any other questions?
No, I'm kind of getting into your what is that? The Epic Web stack. I've been kind of playing around with that, but it's too early to have any questions just yet.
Yeah, sure. Well, if you ever have questions, then most of the time I have office hours on Thursdays, so happy to answer, and hopefully next time I won't have sound issues.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I think, yeah, I think this is a new question. So, I have a question. Can't find a solution. Here, actually, let me reply answering this now. So, can't find the solution or why it happens. Oh, hold on. Let me also put the YouTube in here as well. And I was wondering more or less. Oh, and here's Jacob jumping in. I think this is correct. When I have a website on the mobile in the background, I return to the browser. Sometimes I get this error. Text HTML is not valid. MIME type. Yeah, for the veterans in the room, we've seen this so many times. We know exactly what it is. Let me know if you've dealt with this. Yep. Cool. I gotta appreciate using an assistant of some kind to translate, to do a translation like this. This is amazing. Now, like it's so cool that your ability to speak a specific language is no longer as much a hindrance as it used to be, where you can communicate very clearly and effectively in any language now. It's amazing. So that's cool. Anyway, Jacob is absolutely correct. Not to sound like an AI myself, you're absolutely right. But yeah, it's you probably have some 404 that you're getting for a JavaScript asset. This often can happen if you deploy a new version. Could also be like during development. Sometimes the assets change underneath you. That happens a lot as well. And it could also be that your server is not properly configured to set the MIME type of your assets as well. And so like sometimes a server will just default to serving the index HTML if it can't find anything too. And so if that's the case, it will say a context type of text HTML, and you're trying to link to a JavaScript file that's no longer there. And so it sends the index HTML, and the JavaScript's like, I can't parse this. So that's kind of the couple of the things that could be going on there. So hopefully that helps. Jacob is right. There you go. I hope that's helpful. Looks like that's everything. So as for me, I have been traveling. I made it back to the States just yesterday, and now I'm working a little bit more on the workshop app here. I've got some cool things, so you may or may not have noticed this cool new output right here that allows you to put in certain keys. And look, Cody is going to give you kudos. You are absolutely qualified. You just keep on doing this stuff and you get a bunch of nice things from Cody. And you can hit Q to exit and all this stuff. It's really cool. And I'm going to be doing a couple other things that I think will be really interesting. So anyway, stay tuned for more on that front. Also using background agents from Cursor and like figuring out how to do that effectively. That's been kind of fun. Let me close this. And oh yeah, and then of course there's Epic AI Pro. Whoa, newsletter feedback. Yikes. We're gonna figure that out, I'm sure. MCP workshops this is new, so that's exciting. I should probably get rid of this too. But that is sweet. So we're sold out on the advanced one. We've got one spot left on the fundamentals. I will be running these again, of course. So give me your name and email. Let me know that you are interested, and you will be notified when we run this again. Look at my hair, man! I was just trying this like long hair thing for a little bit. That didn't work great. Oh, that's so bad. The user, listen. I'm pretty sure I recorded this after I got back, like almost immediately after I got back from a trip to London. Like I landed, I came up to my office and I recorded. I'm pretty sure that's when this was. Anyway, yeah, probably should have like smoothed out my hair or something. But yeah, the workshops, MCP workshops on Epic AI are awesome, and you should take a look. And stay tuned for more. I need to work on that as well. It is July 3rd. For those of you who don't know, in the United States, 4th of July is our Independence Day. And so we are excited to celebrate that. We've got family coming over, so I probably won't be working as much today. But if I can, then I will be trying to finish up something with the Epic Shop. I'm making a workshop CLI. That's weird. Oh, yeah. What happened here? What was I trying to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to go and update stuff. So anyway, gonna be doing a bunch of stuff with Epic Shop. Anyway, I'm not getting any other questions. Got a nice comment on YouTube. Sound has been pretty great the entire time. That's great. I'm glad to know that it was good for you. And maybe it was just a little bit quiet earlier. But I'm glad it was good. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. We will see you in the future for the next office hours. I think, let's do live. Where's my schedule? Schedule. There we go. Yeah, so as far as I can tell, I'm going to be live next week for office hours. So join me for that next week. Thank you all so much for coming today, and I hope you have a marvelous 4th of July if you celebrate Independence Day. And if you don't, you can still have a great 4th of July because it's just a day on the calendar. But it's very important for us Americans. So, bye.